All right. Welcome everyone to Movement Yoga, Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. West Coast, 12 p.m. East Coast, and everything else you can figure out. My name is Mark Cormier. We do these not just for fun, but just because we want to reach out in terms of the great gift yoga is to the world. I'm practicing today with my wife, Kathy Cormier. And are you ready, Kathy?
I am ready.
Come on stage. Let's adjust the bricks just a little bit. So, just so you know, Kathy, these bricks here are marking the edge of your frame.
Excellent.
A little bit more. Awesome. All right. Anything you'd like to work on today?
Just trying.
You don't have to think too hard.
Just trying to flow.
Trying to follow flow. All right. Well, let's start with our hands on our hips, just marching it side to side. You want to give it a little kick. Go for it. Channeling your inner ninja warrior here.
My knees sometimes are more wonky, so
Okay. Well,
it's probably an aging thing, I'm sure, and I think I'm gaining a little weight.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like you've gained much weight. So,
Well,
so let me show you my knee exercise. So now let's ground down through those feet. Big toes connects, heels slightly apart. We're going to come down and cap our knees with our hands and just circling those knees. If you feel any clicks or stubbornness, just move a little slower through that place. And then taking those circles the other way. So I was just reading yesterday that they've been thinking for years and years and years about a drug to fix people's knees.
ooh.
But they're figuring out that one of the best things you can do for your knees is making sure you walk every day.
Well, I've also heard eating collagen, like all the chicken wings I love.
Okay. Well, all right. Hands on the hips. We're going to circle our hips.
So not so nice for our animal friends. So walking is probably a better solution.
And the idea is you want to keep on walking as you get older. So
Yeah.
throughout your 30s, your 40s, and 50s, make sure you keep walking. 60s,
Maybe I'll start
70s.
walking one way to work.
I would think that'd be an excellent thing to try anyway.
One of my French teachers did that, I remember.
Hips come center. Let's find a cross shoulder hug. Just circle the shoulders, keeping the hips relatively stable. And then taking that cross shoulder hug the other way. Now coming back center, releasing and relaxing those shoulders. Two arms in the air like you either do or don't care. We'll take hips one way, shoulders go the other. And we'll take those circles the other way.
Wow, once I have problems.
Yeah, it's part of our yoga, just figuring out one side's easier than the other. And then back to center, hands by your side. Let's start a more formal practice here as we narrow our stance, feeling free to work your feet as they will. Now, traditionally in yoga, the big toes touch, heels slightly apart. But for a lot of people, that binds the hips a little bit. So if you want to angle the toes out, go for it. Just find a place with a sense of ease in your hips, a sort of sense of stability. Hands to heart, the light press of your thumb against your sternum, lining up each finger. Relax shoulders long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. Starting our practice this morning, watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. Arriving here on our yoga mats, ready for a morning yoga practice on Facebook Live. From a place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as you find a long, slow breath in, followed by an equally long, slow breath out. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to bring the air to the top of your chest, the base of your belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, I encourage you to engage your abdominals as you draw the low belly in and up, concurrently lifting the kidneys in and up, squeezing a little more air out. More importantly, with that abdominal engagement on your exhalation, providing structural support for your low back as you move through these shapes and sequences. And believe it or not, your low back is connected to your knees. To this deeper, fuller breath, moving towards the go-to breath in many flow practices, the Ujjayi breath, the inspiratorious breath, slightly constricting the base of your throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice this morning, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus of your practice, often compared to the sound of the ocean as the waves wash in and out. Keeping this ujjayi breath, and I'll invite you to find the tongue loop, tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind your teeth. Keeping that tongue loop throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by our side. Keeping it simple, arms and shoulders as we inhale the arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, arms back down. 2 more times like this, breathing arms up. Exhaling, arms down. 1 more time, observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders as the arms elevate, shoulders elevate. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. I'll ask you to go sideways for half sun salutation. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back, hands can cap the knees. Exhaling, rounding the spine, hands can catch the back of the shins. Inhaling, finding your flat back, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine as we fold on down. And then inhaling, coming back up, finding flat back, leading with the back of the heart, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. We got 1 more to go here. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as we fold again. Inhaling, finding that flat back, leading with the back of the heart. Inhaling up. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun Sal A, this first one I will not cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as we fold on down and grounding down through the hands as you find your down dog. Stepping 1 foot back and then the other. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to walk your dog as you bend 1 leg deeply and then the other. Stretching down to the opposite heel without sacrificing the stability of the shoulders, maybe a little movement of that shoulder girdle, maybe a little rock of the neck, a little swing of the head. Again, just checking it out. How does your body feel this morning? What feels tight? What feels right? What feels somewhere in between? And welcome, Chip. From a place of movement, I'll invite you to move back towards relative stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. On the tail end of her breath, I'll invite you to bend the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, more space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump to the front of your back. Awesome. Take a breath to create length when you arrive. Hands can cap the knees as we arc the spine. Exhaling, arching the spine as we fold. Inhaling, finding your flat back, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one, much like the first, this time I will cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to create length. And then on the exhale, keeping the elbows soft as you find yoga push-up, elbows shave the ribs. Take your time. As you step 1 foot back and then the other. Feeling free to use the knees or not as you come down. If you come all the way down and find your back bend, the hips stay down, it becomes a cobra. If you lift the hips up, it becomes your up dog. And then rolling back over the toes, finding your down dog and holding for 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your ujjayi breath flows in. And as your ujjayi breath flows out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take that jump front. Take a breath to find length when you rise. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, finding your flat back arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Do one more sun salad. We'll throw a plank into the mix. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. Keeping that length as you ground down. And elbows stay soft as you find your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend, be it cobra or up dog. And then exhaling back to down dog. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay where you are. It's the beauty of a home practice. And even in a studio, feel free to stay where you are. I'll always cue that. For the purposes of this Facebook Live, I'll invite Kathy to come forward to plank pose. You can do this too if you choose. And holding the plank for 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. Feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. Crown of the head stretching front, heels stretching back, connecting with the strength of her center. As she holds this place of exertion, keeping the breath easeful. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Those of us that have chosen the plank, long, smooth breath in, not yet. Equally long, smooth breath out. Now on the tail end of that breath, navel to spine. As you lift the hips high, abdominal engagement, coming back to the down dog. And holding for another couple of breaths. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands, and either stepping or jumping in front. Take a breath to find length when you're right. Arcing the back. Really feel that dip in back heart. On the exhale, really feeling that puff in back heart as we round the spine. Inhaling, losing the dip and the puff, finding your flat back arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhale, standing tall. Second traditional warm-up exercise, Sun Sal B flow style. Inhaling into your chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising that up, engaging your glutes, supporting a big back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you arc. And on the exhale, arching the spine as you grind on down and making your way back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Yogi's choice. From down dog, flow style. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. Looking between the hands, pitching that lifted leg even higher. And then sweeping that right foot through, spinning your back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, warrior one. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then from low lunge, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back, yogi's choice. Take your time, find your flow. Welcome, Jorge. Second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, pitching that lifted leg even higher. And then sweeping that left foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side. And then overhead, warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back, yogi's choice. Always listening to your body. And most importantly, respecting what your body has to say. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding. On the inhale, finding your chair, knees over toes, hands overhead, working your flat back. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, glutes engaged, supporting that big back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. Adding a dragon dog to our sun cell B. Inhaling into your chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to create length as you arc the back. Yeah, really feel that dip in back heart. There it is. On the exhale, puffing back heart as you fold and ground down and making your way back to down dog as you will. All right, here comes that dragon dog. Flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. On an exhale, knee to nose to knee, shoulders over wrist, there it is. And inhale it up, take your time. Exhale it forward. Maybe pause just a little bit, there it is. Feel the core connection. Inhale it up. So back to straight leg, there you go. Now we're gonna hold that knee front for the inhale as we exhale it front, knee to nose to knee, shoulders over wrist. Inhale and hold. And then squeezing your core even tighter as you step that foot as far front as you can. Spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead. Inhaling. And then riding. The exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. Second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. On the exhale, knee to nose to knee, not too fast. And then inhale it up. 2 more times. Exhale it forward. Inhale it up. Now holding that foot front for the inhale before we step it front. Exhale it forward. Inhale and hold. And then on the exhale, lots of core engagement as you get that foot as far front as you can, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead, inhaling. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Take your time. Letting your breath be your metronome. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to come back to an even breath. Samarvriti. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. And Sama is a Sanskrit word that sounds just like same. Vriti is a word that means breath. So same breath, even breath. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands as you either step or take that jump up. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. On the inhale, stay low, knees over toes, hands overhead, finding your chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising and up. On the exhale, neutral spine. We got one more sun sal B. Let's throw a twist into our dragon dog. How are you doing? You want to take a little sip of water?
Oh, my goodness.
Yoga serve.
Supporter.
Bring you your water, yeah.
Thank you. It's a little warm.
It's a little warm, and I can turn the fan on too if you want. Or we could open the window.
Sounds good.
Let's open the window just a tad.
No fresh Bay Area.
All right, fresh Bay Area air.
Thank you.
So inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up again. Glutes engaged, big back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over.
Thank you for the water.
Of course. Take a breath to find length as you are, really dipping back hard. Feel that undulation of the spine. On the exhale, puffing back hard as you fold and ground on down, making your way back to down dog as you will. Awesome. So you're working hard. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes. Now bringing right knee towards right elbow, maybe give it a tap, maybe not. And inhale it up. Now finding the twist as bringing right to left, maybe tap it, maybe not. And inhale it up. Now we're going to bring that knee center and hold for the inhale. And on your next exhale, getting that foot as far front as you can, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead. Inhaling. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Deep full breaths. Awesome. Yeah, shoulder blades back and down. Really feel that anchoring on the rear shelf. Second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. On an exhale, left knee to left elbow, maybe tap it, maybe not. And inhale it out, take your time. Exhaling left to right, finding the twist, maybe tap it, maybe not. And then back up. Now bringing that knee center and holding for the inhale. Lots of core engagement on the exhale, stepping that foot front, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side. And then overhead, inhale. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. As we hold down dog or any other shape you choose, you could always sneak in all fours or a child's pose. I'll invite you to fill the back plane of your body with your breath, using your breath to connect yourself to a part of your body not easily seen. And in doing so, connecting us to the rest of everything else that we don't see. It's a lot of the universe that we're not looking at it, we don't see, but we still want to feel that connection. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift your tailbone just a little bit higher, and then looking between the hands and either stepping or taking a jump from it. Take a breath to create length when you arrive. Exhaling, keeping that length as you fold. Inhaling, finding your flat back, knees over toes, hands overhead. And we go, yes, you want to find your chair. There we go. Now you're going to take that chair even lower, more strength in your legs. Feel the squat. Awesome. It's all good. Inhaling, rising on up. And on the exhale, neutral spine. That's part of our yoga practice.
Thinking about something that took me to another direction.
Yeah, and minds tend to do that, and just noticing when they do it is a big, big part in quieting our mind, finding a little more space between our thoughts. So I'll ask you to face camera, Kathy, to bring hands to heart. Light press of the thumb against the sternum, lining up each finger, relax shoulders, finding your breath, watching as it flows in and out. And then lifting the chin tall through the crown. So let's bring our feet. Your feet are pretty wide here. I'll ask you to go even wider as you angle the toes out. Yeah, maybe a little less wide. And we're going to uphold the heavens. We haven't done this in a while. On an exhale, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to clasp the fingers as we gather up our energy. Inhaling, raising the energy up, pressing the palms up to the sky as we lift up onto the toes. Let's do that 8 times. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Take your time. Inhale it up. So slow descent here. There it is. That's going to be just actually probably more important than the lift is the slow descent. It's called eccentric contraction. So good for our legs, so good for our knees. A couple more times. Last one, we'll come down, take your time. We're going to lift it up, we're going to hold, and then we're going to jump on those toes 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lifting those heels a little higher. And then lower the heels, hands by your side. Let's come out of those shoulders a little bit. As we bring our bird beaks, 4 fingers touch the tip of a thumb, onto our shoulders, and we'll roll one shoulder front and then the other. And then taking those asymmetrical shoulder rolls the other way. Excuse me. And then back to center, letting those shoulders settle onto rib shelf. And either stepping or jumping your feet together. I'll ask you to go sideways. Sun Sal C, an extended standing pose sequence. And again, realize that's your front of your frame right there. Inhaling into your chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive. Take a breath to create length as we arc the back. Keeping that length as you ground on down and making your way back to down dog as you roll. So we're going to add a hip opener to our 3-legged dog. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. Keeping that right shoulder anchored as best you can. Twisting from the ribs. You might not go far as you stack your hips, lifted leg straight. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. Now circling the thigh bone in the hip socket for 3, 2, and 1. Taking those circles the other way. 3, 2, and 1. Now looking between the hands, you're going to pitch that knee even higher. And then sweeping that right foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead. Inhaling. And then riding the exhale. Actually, we're not. We're not going to ride the exhale back down. We're going to hold the stance. I'll allow you to bring hands to hips. Now, you look pretty long there. You might stay right there. If you landed a short stance, which I tend to do, you would shift weight onto the front foot and scoot that back foot back. So Kathy's already pretty long. She's not going to do that. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. Hands find the shoulders, steering heart front. And let's come back to those asymmetrical shoulder rolls. As we roll one shoulder front and then the other. Great place to do this. We've stabilized the low back by having one leg front, one leg back. And taking those rolls the other way. Now bringing shoulders center and letting them settle onto rib shelf. Finding a clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat. Elbows wide to the side. Keeping that width, let's find a tray in front. From here, gathering in the energy into our center of balance, straightening the front leg without locking the knee. Exhaling, circling those hands around as we find our goalpost or cactus arm. 6 times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Couple more to go here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding those cactus arms. Great takeaway here. The elbows move back. The hands come lift. That's right. Rippling those fingers. Keeping your hands supple. Now moving towards a balance challenge. Bringing hands to hips. Spinning the back heel up. Either one big step or a couple of steps in. We're going to prepare to balance on our right foot in the flamingo. As we lift that left thigh high, not yet, but flamingo, so the leg comes front. That's it, yeah. This is it right here. Invite you to lean a little bit forward. You want to take it in abdominal, front abdominals, and less in the low back. You want to point the toe down, yeah. There it is. From here, we're going to move towards our warrior 3, softening the standing leg as you start to pitch the body forward and stretch that leg back. Either working an easy warrior 3, legs can stay super bent, or less easy as you pitch the body more forward and lengthen through the legs. I'll invite you to keep the hip of the lifted leg a little bit higher than the hip of the standing leg so you don't sit in that hip so much. Either keeping hands on hips or bringing hands to heart. Hands either stay at heart or we stretch those hands in front and lifting the face to look for those hands. Beautiful. Hands in front can come back to the heart. Hard hands become hip hands. We'll start to come back to our flamingo. If you have to tap the toe down, no big deal. It's really important to lean a little bit forward here. We don't want to take it in the low back as we lengthen through that leg without dropping the thigh. Yeah, again, pointing the toe. Nice, beautiful. Lifting that leg a little higher. Again, don't take it in your back. Lean a little bit forward. Now flexing your foot as you sweep it on through. If you have to tap down, go for it. Otherwise, don't worry, or don't do it. And we'll find our warrior one with our hands on our hips. Now using our hands to turn warrior one hips into warrior two hips as we steer the hips sideways, we might kick that back foot in for a narrower stance vis-a-vis side to side, and then finding warrior two's one long arm, looking out past those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. This is a good practice for your social interactions, your community later on.
This is like the distance we should probably have from everybody to give people personal space, I'm realizing.
Well, I think the
But
the corona distance would be both arms.
I'm just thinking like in terms of the public spaces where I work, all the conflicts seem to be about people
Getting a little closer.
close.
That's a nice insight. Awesome. From here, let's paint some rainbows. Straightening front leg without locking knee. Inhale. Exhaling warrior two. Oh, yeah. Back and forth. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Keeping it flowy. Exhaling. Last two. And last one, I'll invite you to hold that reverse warrior, reaching up higher, reaching down further, finding more space between each rib, and mimicking those ribs with your fingers as you spread your hands wide, breathing into all that space, finding more space with your breath from the inside out. Now turning the reverse warrior back into warrior two. From here, finding your rainbow warrior. Would you like a strap or a towel? All right. Otherwise, clasping the fingers behind the back. Shoulder blades backing down initially onto rib shelf. That's what you want to feel in your up dog. That action there. And then leading with the heart as you take a deep dive inside the front leg. Take your time. Find your feet. And then once you're in your forward fold, I'll invite you to relax the neck and heavy the head. And then letting those shoulders slide off the ribs and down towards the floor. Almost like molasses sliding out of a bottle. As we hold this rainbow warrior, relax the neck even more if you can. I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway. Really find your feet and be able to find that looseness, that flow.
I think the only way you can let your head go is if you actually pull back on your arms. Otherwise, your head wants to do the work.
And I think that might be particular to you because seriously, when I'm in this pose, I have no problem relaxing my neck at all. So, but I think it might be you're a little bit scared of falling.
Also, maybe I need more strength in my legs.
Yeah, man. So really put your mind in your feet. Strength of the legs starts from the feet. Really pressing those feet down. Really engaging the muscles of the legs. And with that engagement, see if you can let that neck relax. The other thing is you might want to use a towel. See if you can let the neck relax with the towel. So give you a little more freedom to relax that neck.
It's actually narrower than my arms.
Go nice and wide with it. You relax your neck with that towel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say use a towel. Before you come up, strong tuck of the chin. Before you come up. So set that strong tuck, and you're going to come on up. Losing the towel, lifting the chin, tall through the crown as you come back to your warrior two. Move that towel for you. Awesome. From here, we're going to transition to a triangle. Thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib. So crease of hip and base of rib. Deepening that crease, lengthening those ribs. And we can do a couple things with our bottom hand. We can line thumb up with shin bone as we wrap the calf. Or you might bring a brick or two outside the calf. Once you have that foundation, we can use this top hand to rotate our ribs, opening up shoulder, and then stretching hand high to the sky. As we hold the triangle, breathing into your center of balance, 3 fingers below the navel. And then from that place, from that center, connecting with the periphery of the stabilize your bricks. Lift the brick up a little bit. And you just there's some little wonky on the brick. I didn't want that brick to fall. Now moving towards your half moon, top hand finds the hip. You can soften the front knee, either one big step or a couple of steps in. Half moon's pretty much the triangle in one foot. Set your base first before you lift the foot. Once you have that base, you're going to pour weight into foot and hand as the back foot gets light. Again, we can rotate our ribs, opening up shoulder, stretching hand high, choosing either to look down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky. From here, coming down easefully, top hand finds the hips, softening the front knee. I'll invite you to land a short stance, no big deal. Shifting the weight into the feet as you come on up, hands find the hips. Now shifting weight onto that right foot, that front foot, as you lengthen your stance, coming back to your warrior two. And from warrior two, a big windmill of the arms as you stretch out your shoulders for low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Take your time. All right, we're moving so slowly and mindfully today. Right to the second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Excuse me, left leg high to the sky. High in the right toes. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is, twisting from the ribs. You might not go too far as you stack the hips. Now bending that leg, letting the weight of the leg open up that hip. And then circling the thigh bone in the hip socket for 3 and 2. And 1, taking it the other way. 3 and 2 and 1. Really engage that really strong, yeah. And now you're going to look between the hands, pitching that knee even higher. Yeah, keep that elbow engaged. Really put your mind right there. And you're going to step that foot on front, spinning the back heel down. Finding your warrior one, arms out to the side, and then overhead. From here, bringing hands back to the hips. If you're as long as you're going to get, stay right there. Otherwise, shifting weight onto front foot to lengthen your stance. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. Hands find the shoulders, steering the heart front. Now working those asymmetrical shoulder rolls, one shoulder forward and then the other. And taking those rolls the other way. Now bringing the shoulders back center and letting them settle onto rib show. Walking the fingers one over, clasping the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat. Elbows wide to the side. And then finding that tray in front. From here, gathering energy into our center of balance, inhaling. Exhaling as we offer it out 6 times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding. The elbows move back. The hands come with. Rippling those fingers as we keep our hands supple. Now moving through our balance sequence, hands find the hips, spinning the back heel up, either one big step or a couple of steps in. We're moving towards the flamingo, foot in front. Okay, not the half movement, not the warrior 3. Take a big step in. Find that flamingo as you lift that right thigh high. Toe is pointed, beautiful. Indeed, you want to lean. Nice flat back here. If anything, you want to air and lean a little bit forward. As you draw energy right here, but not below that. From here, we're going to turn it into warrior 3, softening the standing leg. So your knee can make all those little balance adjustments. Starting to bring the leg back as you pitch the body forward. We could work a very easy warrior 3, tapping that big toe down, or less easy. Wherever you choose to work, I invite you to keep the hip of the lifted leg a little bit higher than the hip of the standing leg. Once you've found your balance, hands find the heart, holding that. And then stretching those hands in front and lifting the face to look through those hands if you want to challenge your balance. Otherwise, keep your gaze down towards the ground. Wherever you choose to work, easeful breaths in, easeful breaths out. Hands in front, come back to the heart. There first, setting your intention. And now you find your hips as you set your balance. Come back to the flamingo. If you have to tap the foot down, no big deal. This is a long time on one leg. And then from the flamingo, once you're there, again, you want to lean a little bit forward as you draw it into low belly, but not low back, as you lengthen through that leg without dropping the thigh. Pointing the toe. Nice, beautiful. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then flexing the foot as you sweep it on through. If you have to tap down, okay. Finding your warrior one with your hands on your hips. Now using those hands to steer warrior one hips to warrior two hips. You might kick that back foot in for a little bit of a narrower stance vis-a-vis left to right. And then finding that one long arm, looking out past those front fingers with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, this is probably your social distance in America. During COVID, we're still in it from what I hear, both arms are probably your social distance.
Like a cartwheel.
There, you don't want to hit the person. All right, so from here, we're going to paint some rainbows, straightening front leg without locking knee, inhaling. Exhaling, warrior two, 6 times, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're halfway down, breathing in. Breathing out, last 2, breathing in. Out, last 1, breathing in and holding that reverse warrior, reaching up higher, reaching down further, finding more space between each rib, and mimicking those ribs with your fingers as you find more space in your hands, and breathing into all that space. Turning that reverse warrior back into your warrior two. I'll grab you the towel just so you can relax your neck. So you might use a strap, a towel, a tie, a sweater. You might find a clasp of the fingers, but make sure you're in a place working long and wide enough up that you can really get some good clearance and you can let your neck relax. So initially, shoulder blades back and down onto rib shelf. There you go. That's your up dog shoulders. Keeping up dog shoulders as long as you can, leading with the heart. As you take that deep fold inside the front leg, take your time. Really finding your feet, firing up those legs. And then when you're in your forward fold, relax neck. There you go. See if you can just rock the neck without losing your balance. Nice, heavy head. And then letting those shoulders slide off the ribs towards the floor. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, inviting any tension in your neck and shoulders to drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. Welcome, Julie. Now in our deep forward fold, I'll suggest before you come up, a strong tuck of the chin, feeling the stretch in your back of your neck. That's going to stabilize the lift. Now coming on up, losing the towel, I can take it from you. Lifting the chin tall to the crown, back to your warrior two. From here, finding your triangle, thumb and forefinger, find crease of hip and base of rib. You want to deepen that crease and lengthen those ribs. Now grounding that bottom hand down, either thumb in line with shin bone as you wrap the calf, opening up that bottom shoulder, or you might bring a brick or two outside the calf. Make sure your bricks are solid and stable, working in an appropriate height that works for you. Top hand can rotate those ribs, so find the ribs first. Now finding the shoulder, as much arm as shoulder, and then stretching that hand high to the sky as you find your triangle. With every breath in, as we draw air into our lungs, our diaphragm stretches down towards our navel, gathering energy in that place. With every breath out, as the air moves out of our lungs, the diaphragm relaxes and zones up to the heart. On that impetus, connecting with the pulsation of the breath as you connect the center of yourself to the periphery of the room. And once the walls are gone, the periphery of the universe. Feeling that connection to that Webb Space Telescope. How many light years away is it now? Look it up.
I should. There's so much information out there. You can only absorb so much.
And then, of course, choosing where to look. Down, very grounded. Off to the side, a little less so. Maybe up past those top fingers with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Again, that bottom, for some reason, that bottom brick keeps sliding a little bit too forward. I want a nice solid structure there. From here, we're going to move towards the half moon, the triangle on one foot. Top hand finds the hip. We can soften the front knee. Either one big step or a couple of steps in, setting your base. The left hand off to the left, with or without a brick. Now set your base first. Once you have that base, you're going to pour weight into hand and foot as that back foot gets light. You could work a low half moon or a less low half moon.
It's like pouring the tea out of the
Pouring the
teapot.
tea into the teapot.
No,
you know,
out, you're pouring it out.
pouring it out, that's right. You're pouring your weight into that leg. And we use that top hand to rotate the ribs, opening up that shoulder, nice as much shoulder as arm, and then stretching that arm high. Different things to do with the back foot. Classically, it's a flex back foot. I find that actually restricts my breathing a little bit, so I'd rather point the toe a little bit. Maybe not a strong point, but a soft point. And even in this one, just like in Warrior 3, we had a little essence of Warrior 2 with some one hip a little higher than the other. The classic manuals say you want to stack the hips. I think that top hip should be down just a little bit, get a little more ease in the shape.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
And either looking
You
down,
can really stretch your hips that way.
yeah. So either you can look down, very grounding, off to the side, or see what happens. I know you're near a window, you might not want to do it. You can look up to the sky. I'll spot you, start to fall over. Awesome, beautiful. From here, top hand finds the hip. We're going to soften the front knee, landing a short stance, no big deal. Hands find the hips. You're going to shift weight onto the front foot, coming back to your Warrior 2. We're almost done here, but I'll give you a little sip of water just for
Thank
fun.
you, Yoga Sherpa.
And always feel free at home to grab your water
Oh,
bottle.
thank you so much.
Your tea or your coffee or whatever. A glass of wine.
Water, drink lots of
A little
water.
early, but maybe not on the
Here
East
in
Coast.
California, wherever it's hot, make sure you drink lots of water. If you're thirsty, you've not had enough water.
Kathy's tip for the day, hydrate. All right, so you're in your Warrior 2. We're going to windmill the arms. You got one long arm. And you're going to get back to down dog as you will. So either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Deep full breath. For those of our yoga friends in Boston, we're going to get you Friday night, so you know.
We're getting our warrior on. I should have worn the shirt today. Darn.
Yeah.
Next week.
Cells look awfully good, though.
Yeah, well,
All right.
cheers to a great series.
So we're starting to wind it down here. I'll invite you to find a child's pose, landing those knees with a stack of soft fists. Just letting your forehead rest on those fists. As we hold this shape, gently rocking your body side to side, getting into those hips, releasing and relaxing your back. Depending on the size of your belly, maybe you feel a physical connection between belly and thighs, maybe it's just an energetic connection. And as you breathe in, just feeling that connection, letting your breath massage your thighs, even if it's just energetically as you breathe in. Letting your thighs massage your belly, even if it's just energetically as you breathe out. From this place, I'll invite you to bring your feet off to the side. We're going to come towards our Shavasana. Finding the top of our mat, I'll suggest a long, slow roll down onto your back. Yeah, I'd come even a little more forward. Run into our lights here. We can start Frankenstein arms, tall spine. Yes, so set, never rush on that tall spine first. Back of your head is in line with your sacrum. Now from this place, you'll find C-spine as you tuck tail and chin. And then slowly rolling yourself down. You can always catch the back of our thighs, or your thighs. Slow, 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 laying each vertebrae down as if you're laying pearls onto a cushion. When we get down as best you can, there's a few obstacles here. Finding a full body stretch, the low back's going to lift, so arms overhead, I think you're okay. And then keeping that sense of space in the low back. As you bring your hands by your side, the palms face up. Widening your thighs, scooting the shoulders back as you flatten those shoulders. Finding your Shavasana. We won't be here too long. Welcome, John. Now I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. I'll invite you to move your mind before you move your body. Bring your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in and watching as it flows out. Much like watching a river as that river flows by. From a place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath, varying the ratio between the inhale and the exhale as you find a long, slow breath in, followed by an even longer, slower breath out. Keeping this more relaxing breath, gently rippling fingers and toes, inviting more prana, more life force, more vitality into your body. And then pressing your back into the mat to support the action of the legs. As you draw one knee into the heart, the other knee follows. Hands catch the shins. We can use our thighs to gently massage our low belly, our center of balance, as we gently lift and lower the low back hips. Front to back, side to side, little circles, whatever feels right and good for you. Now keeping the knees close in, keeping the neck relaxed as you reach back with a hand to lift and tuck the chin. Chin stays tucked, the hand comes back to the shin as we start to rock ourselves forward to back, back to front. If you need a little more oomph, you might catch the back of the thighs as we rock on up to claim a cross-legged sit. I'll ask you to face the camera. As we sit, grounded down through our sits bones, hands come to the top of our knees. Pulling back with the hands to settle those shoulders. Those are your up dog shoulders. One hand finds the heart, the other hand on top. Ending our practice listening and feeling as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world, the light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank
Thank-
you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with us.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, everyone home, for watching and listening and
Thank you, friends.
participating in our yoga exercise here. And as always, namaste sounds like have a nice day, and we'll see you real soon.
Have a nice day.